really there, Todd.
Oh, I see what you're wearing. I must say, right, this is the best Deadpool movie out of all three. I don't know what you
Oh
think
yeah.
of it.
Oh no, no. It's simply the easiest, the best Deadpool
Easily as
movie.
Deadpool. So,
Actually, here I'm gonna go ahead and say it's the
okay,
best Wolverine movie too.
you're right. I want to say this is the best
I mean,
movie
I
win
know
movie.
everybody's like, oh, Logan, Logan this, Logan that, Logan this. I already saw Logan once, all right? And maybe it's good, all right? I should see it again and then I can say it. But when I did see the Logan the first time, from what I remember, no, I didn't like it. I didn't think anything of it.
Shame on you.
Oh, I thought
Shame
it was
on you.
put your claws in. You know what? I dare you to open your hand and then retract your claws. I'd like to see that. No, open your hands. No, no, like do this
Come
and
on,
then
really?
retract your
You think
claws. Yeah, because I really want to see your hand. I
I
want to
mean,
see your
like,
claws.
this is probably one of the best designs. I'm surprised they didn't make this in the 90s.
Okay,
You
well,
know?
let me tell you this way. The only reason I tell you that because in the real comic books, if Logan puts his hands like that, retracts his claws, it'll come out the front of his hands, and it hurts
So, one of the things I want
everybody.
to point out, a lot of people, well, no, I guess the popular opinion, I can't say a lot of people, even from the first X-Men movie, which we did last week,
Yeah,
X-Men, X2, and then X-Men The Last Stand, I even know the third one is not by Bryan Singer, so the feel of it was different because it was just a different storytelling and everything. And I feel this is opposite from Deadpool because the first two was done by 20th Century Fox, and this one is by Marvel Studios, which is basically Disney. And you could tell immediately that the production quality is way better, right? Even though it's a small story, it didn't have too many characters, but I feel like this one reflects oppositely from the first X-Men trilogy. Does that make sense to you?
yeah. I would. Well, I guess I'd say this is not really related.
It's not related, but I
If
just
that's
feel
what
like,
you're saying, yeah.
yeah,
That's what you're saying, though, right?
yeah, but it's not
Oh
related. But
yeah,
the
I'm just
third
saying
one
this
is
is a
way
whole
better.
different movie. Yeah, this is just a whole different movie. This is
And
all brand new movie.
and that's really crazy though. This feels very well self-contained by itself. It doesn't really have to do with the MCU, except that there's
It
MCU
really,
elements in it that
yeah, I think
they
it's
didn't
almost like,
touch.
yeah, easily this could have been, for all we know, could have been a 20th Century Fox movie. It's
Yes.
just the thing is, Deadpool just makes a lot of references to Disney because he's the MCU, but actually, he's not really in the MCU. He's in the MCU now. This is part of the MCU. I guess you
Yep.
could say that in a way, but he doesn't come to the MCU universe that we watch all our movies in.
I think I need more clarification. You say
Okay,
he's not
let's
in
see.
the MCU,
We were
but he's
watching the
in the
Captain
TV.
America. We watched Iron Man. We watched the Hulk. We watched the Avengers. He is not in their universe.
Oh, okay, okay, yes, yes, yes. Okay, I got it now. Yeah, he's
He
not
still
in that
stays in his
universe.
universe. Yeah. So I mean, it depends on what you call the MCU.
It's all of it
But
as a whole.
but I guess yeah, I guess you refer to it as whole. I guess I always thought of it as just that universe because
It's just that
I mean
timeline. It's kind of like,
because there's a whole bunch of movies with Marvel characters in them, but they're not MCU movies.
so you kind of
Blade
say,
is not an MCU movie.
like MCU is that sacred timeline.
MCU, the Avengers we watch, is the sacred
It's a
timeline.
sacred timeline.
It has to be the sacred light timeline. But this movie was a good movie. I enjoy this movie and stuff. But if you really wanted to, you could tear this movie apart by
Yeah, I
by
bet you
Marvel
can. Yeah.
by MCU standards because they did make a huge mistake. I think
Oh, go do tell. I mean, this is a
the
really
big the
huge
big mistake,
spoilers,
and a lot of people are questioning this. All right, the whole point of the story is because Deadpool's universe starts to fall apart.
right?
Why is Deadpool's universe falling apart? Because Logan dies, so
Oh,
his
so hold
universe
on.
is
So
falling
this is
apart.
introducing the anchor being. This is the first time.
This is the anchor being. This is the
The
first time
first
they
time
ever
we
told
heard of it
us.
before.
So
Yep.
this is the anchor being to what? To another universe? To off? Because if they're killing all the offshoots off the sacred timeline, then why is there? This should be an alternate universe completely. Then.
I think that's what I feel too because this is a Fox movie.
But if it's
The
alternate, then if it's an alternate, then I guess this the time variance what do you call it?
TVA.
TVA. This isn't a variant TVA too. Then.
Oh, you know what? I didn't think about it that way. You've spent the
Well, I
last
mean,
3 weeks thinking about this a lot.
oh, I didn't think about it. I actually did this just a couple of days ago since I need something to talk about when we did this movie. And I've only
No, no,
watched
no.
this
That's
movie
really good.
once.
So hold on.
And
Let
you
me.
watched this movie 3 times, so I gotta
I
have
watched this
something.
movie 3 times, so it's really funny. So
Yeah, I
we
know.
watched it
You're
on
very
opening
blessed.
day, me and you, and then me and my wife, she was like, "Well, I don't want to go on Facebook, right, and then see all these
Yeah,
spoilers."
good thing.
So we
Oh
was,
yeah,
yeah, oh, we were, dude, we were right, like right on Mondays, everything's spoiled, right? So me and Heather
yeah,
was like, "I'm so glad we did see it together because we saw the first two together, and the third time is so funny because me and you saw it, and we figured like, oh, I think our boys can see it. So Heather wanted to see it for herself, which was on Saturday, Friday with you, Saturday with her, and then after we saw it, like, oh, we the graphics and the whatever is way better than the first two. What I mean by that is like they're all rated R, and
yeah.
from our point of view, right, it's like okay, I would rather my boys see this one opposed the first two, like against the
Yeah.
first two. This would
But
be the one to
you could
see.
also argue this. You could also argue this. It's the first Disney made R-rated movie.
Exactly, it's a
It's
Disney
gotta be
R-rated movie.
it's gotta
So
be
I think
okay.
I think that's the feel of it. It's like obviously it's a hard R too, but at the same time it's like well, it's not as bad as
It is.
Fox's.
Well, let's put it this. They they had more censors, more people ready to say, hey, this is you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't
That's
do that.
right.
And I think some movies we like to say, oh, we get mad about what they take out of a movie, but maybe some movies need to be steered in a certain direction. You
Okay,
know,
I get that.
maybe Ryan Reynolds needs to be held back a little bit because
Well, so I'm so glad you brought that up
because there's something he won't say.
because I think
So
the one of the first things that like before they written the full script, Feige did tell Reynolds and Sean Levy, right, that like hey, just I don't want any like drug use between like Blank Al and Wade. Okay, just cut back on the drug use. So after they did that, that very night they wrote that joke that we everybody saw in the trailer. Cocaine is one thing that Feige said is off limits. They did that immediately. Like Sean thought that was funny as hell, because like they told him
yeah.
that day and they wrote it that day. I thought it worked really great.
Oh, it worked really good.
It went
This was
really
a good
great.
movie. I mean, this is I told somebody asked me, so what kind of movies is this? I just went ahead and said it's comedy.
Oh, it's definitely comedy.
It's a comedy in a way, but it's
But it
done right
also has
because you
it's
don't.
really good
Cause,
drama though on
but
this
it's
one.
also well, it is drama. That's the problem with a Deadpool movie, and it needs to always be this way. Now, probably if they make a fourth one, like I said, I didn't like the first Deadpool that much.
Hmm.
It's okay. I'll watch it. I'll watch it again. Not a big deal. It's not on. It was never going to be on the pile of Howard the Duck and
That's
Matrix
true, yeah.
Four, and I'd watched it way before I'd even watched Batman and Robin. But the thing is, I noticed that they even stopped some actors for doing it here. A lot of actors want to break the fourth wall in this movie too, but
Yes.
you can't because you got to think Deadpool is the commie. He's
Yep.
crazy, really. To them, in his mind, he's in a comic book. He knows he's in a comic book. He knows and he's aware of everything in the real world. But
Yes.
to anybody that's in his world who comes across him, needs to think he's just crazy and he's just acting out because he's nuts.
Yes.
And everybody in his story should always be serious. And sometimes they have a problem without. They sometimes there's characters in there that go too far that shouldn't be.
Oh.
His world should be real. His world should be like our world, like
Yep.
a real world almost, except with superheroes, obviously. And he should be the crazy one. There should never
Yes.
be characters come on with him and just break the fourth wall because they should never
He's the only
be
one, yeah.
insane. Yeah, they should never get in his insanity unless they're just playing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, as long as they keep it that way, the movies will always continue to be better because he should always be the one like that. You can't make an Avengers movie, put Deadpool in it, and then have all the characters acting like Deadpool. This won't
Oh.
work. They need to stay. It needs to be the Avengers movie like it's always been, and Deadpool should be the only character like that.
Yo, that's true.
And of
Oh,
course,
that's
this
really
was a
good.
Deadpool movie. This was more of a Deadpool movie because see, and the best thing was Wolverine's in it, so it's a Wolverine movie too in a way, even
Oh.
though it's more Deadpool, more lines. But the best thing is Wolverine. Most of the time, you can see him looking at like, who's he talking to? What's he talking
Yes.
about?
Yeah.
What's he saying? I mean, this guy doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he's very
This guy's
serious and then like yeah, Wolverine's very serious and then you see
yeah,
Deadpool.
almost. I mean, the only people it's not serious is usually the people from Deadpool's world. But I mean, as time
Yeah.
goes on, they'll eventually take that away. But
No, yeah. Yeah. I mean like
but
there's no
anyways,
plans to see
yeah, there's no
Deadpool in other
plan.
movies, but like this one it just introduced the mutants. First of all, they mention antimanium on his swords, which makes sense because he fights Wolverine with those swords later. Then they
Yeah,
mention the word mutant. And finally, after since 2008, right? 16 years later, we hear the word antimanium and mutant in a MCU film. I was just happy to hear that the first time. I pointed it out immediately. Oh, this just says antimanium, the swords, and then they say mutant. I mean, it was a really negative way when they say mutant. It's just very prejudiced, but
Well,
like,
it's supposed to always say
just
that
love it.
way.
Yeah,
That's what makes the X-Men X-Men.
I just like it a lot.
It's mid. But anyways, back to the TVA.
Okay.
Anyways, Wolverine dies, and then his world's falling apart. So he's got to come back to the TVA. They like, oh, we'll just take you and send you somewhere else, which is weird. Why
So
did they
let's
want to send him somewhere
so
else? But
okay, wait. But you just asked that question, right? It feels like a higher person than Paradox, which is a villain in the movie. He has his own plans for Deadpool. It feels like
he
he's
must.
using Deadpool like to help him kill off the other timelines. Because
Well,
they
maybe
found out
that's
like
what it is.
I think that like they didn't ever
Well, here's the
say that in
thing.
the movie. Hold on, they never actually said it in the movie. I just thought of this. It feels like Paradox just want to use Deadpool to kill off all the other anchor beings. Because I think that's when he found out like, oh, an anchor being died, and that's how the other timeline. He doesn't want to. I guess in a way, Paradox doesn't know what to do with the
Or
other timelines. He didn't want to keep like babysit because that's what he mentioned in the movie.
yeah,
And then I love like so when I watch it with Heather, she didn't understand how Paradox is the bad guy. So I explained to her. I remember in Loki season 2, the freedom thing, right? The free will. You could create all these branches of timelines, and that's what Loki stood for. So I told her. So basically, it's like work, right? Like this is the one guy that is not prone to change. He doesn't want to change like to Loki's new management system. He's like, I just want to go back to that one secret timeline. So he's like pro Kang and like anti
well,
Loki.
is there even a Loki in this one?
See, I don't know. I don't know. So
Because
the way that
we
you
only see
asked
one
that
character.
question,
Yeah, we only see one character.
is this the same TVA though? But the way that you asked that question, like I
Yeah,
feel like,
well, it seems it's not the
but it
same
is the same
TVA to
TVA
me.
because they had that 85, right? I can't remember that lady's name.
Yeah, well, yeah, but she could be a variant of herself
That's very true too.
because she's a boss.
Because in the end of uh, season one of Loki, it feels like Loki
Yeah,
came back to talk
I
to
kind of
another
feel like
old
whoever
version
made
of
this
her.
movie, I feel like whoever watched made this movie didn't even watch Loki. So
Oh, I don't know.
I
I
mean,
thought
come
it
on,
connected pretty
come
well.
on, but it did make sense though. One being just disappears and your whole timeline ravels because the being's going to die anyways. Logan will eventually die in his timeline. All
Okay,
anchor beings will eventually die in their timeline.
okay. No,
So
no, 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 no. Hold on. I want to stop you right there because I thought about that. I didn't think like in that movie Logan, right? He chose to die, and I feel like it's kind of like in Loki season 1. He chose to use the Tesseract to reappear someone else he wasn't supposed to. So for Logan, it's kind of like saying Logan wasn't supposed to die. He chose to save those kids. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, it's
no,
not
it
true.
doesn't work. That's not the way time would
No, I
work.
know what you mean. I know, no, no. I know what you mean by the anchor beings eventually will die, but I think
Yeah.
he died at the wrong place. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
no. See, if you're going through a timeline set by all the choices you make until you reach that point.
Right.
It's not like, oh, we've seen the future and you changed the future.
Yeah.
No, this was the whole his whole timeline's already set. The timeline's set all into the future.
See.
Every decision you make, you're not going back. See, get what I'm saying? You're not going back. He didn't. It wasn't Dark Brown didn't pop up and go, "Hey Logan, you're not going to save these kids. You'll live till you're old man, and then you'll die." And then he goes, "Oh, okay. Well, now I need to save these kids." No, that would have been his legacy in the timeline, anyways. That's why he would have been a a, a, a main person in that timeline.
Yeah.
So that don't make any sense at all.
You know what didn't make sense in Logan? Wolverine dying.
Wolverine can die though. The only person that can't die is Deadpool. Deadpool is incapable of dying. He'll never die. His cells are all dead already. Logan's cells are fresh, they're new. He keeps regenerating, but if you overdo his cells, he'll eventually die.
I don't know. I
It's
can't
weird.
say that because in this
I know you
movie,
can't because you
okay.
didn't read the
So I
comic
wanna no
books.
no no. Well, I'm not talking about like the comic books versus the movie is different
But
because
that's the thing, though.
so
The way that Logan's body's made, it's like us, except he regenerates really quick. Deadpool's already dead. Deadpool is in a constant state of dying.
oh okay because you're talking about the cancer, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. His cells are already dead. He just grows more dead cells. That's why he grows
Okay.
another head. That's why you can cut his head off, and
Well,
he's still alive.
without
You can blow
reading,
his head completely off.
without having the comic books, like, backstory and stuff, like background knowledge. I'm just
Because
pointing
even
out in this movie, Logan actually point out they're the only two people that can die, and that's very serious speech. We'll get back
yeah,
to that in a later. But he also pointed out, and Deadpool also pointed out that, like, very in the beginning of the very movie, that, like, I don't know if you know how regenerative works, but that's not how it works, right? Then he found that skeleton, which I thought it was very funny
yeah,
because before the movies came out, they said they weren't touching Logan, and then right in the beginning, he goes and dig up his grave.
yeah. And that's the thing. But the thing is, he automatically assumed it. He thinks that Logan is
It's
made
still alive.
exactly like him.
Yeah.
You got to
Oh yeah,
remember,
yeah. That's a
Deadpool.
good point.
Deadpool is not a mutant.
No, you're right. We said that last time on the X
Yeah.
Men.
The only
I
the
think.
only mutant in this movie was Logan.
Well, Pyro, Cassandra. I mean,
Oh
like,
well,
people
yeah.
on the
When we
void.
go to the baddie group,
Yeah.
but we're talking about the main
Oh, the
character.
main. Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't think about that.
because
Oh,
we
wait,
haven't
wait,
even
wait, wait.
touched them. Okay,
No, the Colossus was in this movie.
okay,
Nega, the Sonic
okay.
Teenage
All right.
Warhead was in
They
this
went to
movie.
the X-Men house.
Yukio.
I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Okay. The
Shatterstar
thing
was
is,
back in this movie. Did you like that?
I don't even remember seeing him. That's the problem.
Dolphin that was talking about the AirPod joke again, and he was telling Deadpool and Shatterstar that stupid same joke, and then, like, they already know the story. He wasn't in it a lot, but
Oh, I don't
then
remember. That's the
yeah,
sad thing.
because
I
he
don't
told me,
remember.
like,
I saw that he was in there, but I can't remember.
yeah, he always said, like, "Oh, the AirPods, But then a
But
lot of those people went in this movie a lot because this movie mostly took place in the void.
yeah, it took place in the void, which we got through watching Loki.
And I want to ask you this. I thought, like, it feels like the void is where they dumped everything, right? It feels like every 20th
The
century
the
Fox
void is
Marvel movie is where they're all in the void
yeah.
now.
I don't think everything because there was different timelines. Because you got to remember the all the
Universe.
Fox movies weren't linked together.
They are now. They are
Well,
now
not
linked
or
to.
were they? Because if you go watch them, they're still not linked together. They're just various forms of different places. They're just different timelines. I mean, it's
I
very and
guess.
everything goes to the void was stuff that they went and pruned.
Yeah.
Why would they go prune alternate timelines?
Yeah, which was really weird for me too. Like, I didn't understand, like, they just pruned them.
They prune them and they go in there, or if they
All right, let's not
feel
destroy the
somebody's too
movie.
powerful. But anyways, like I said, here's the problem though.
Okay.
So so Deadpool's gonna go save. You gotta go get a Wolverine to save the
Oh,
world,
I
right?
love that. That's so funny.
And he goes and digs up a Wolverine that dies. Problem is, this Wolverine doesn't die until the year 2028.
2020, 29, yeah.
Yeah, way
But
in the
then he
future.
grabbed a different Wolverine from a different timeline to
But
feel his anger
but
being.
why didn't he go get the Wolverine that's gonna die in that timeline?
Also, just go back a little bit further, kind of
And
like Back
plus,
to the
and
Future.
plus, how far does this thing start falling apart? Because if he dies in this year and Ron Reynolds' character, his Deadpool's in this year, and it's going backwards, where does it start going backwards at?
I don't.
Because the Wolverine would still be there.
Wait, so he's just looking for. Like, hold on. You talk about going back in time. I thought he was just going to different variants of Wolverine. That's a confusion there that I'm getting
He
from you.
apparently went back to different times. If there was he didn't just jump back to different times to see all those Wolverines. That would have been different times.
Different times or different variants.
There's
Oh,
different
I
variants,
no
but
no.
they would have been in different times
When
too.
different variants is just a different universe.
Well, apparently not if they're using TVA, because I mean that's a timeline police, not an alternate reality
Man, you know
police.
what? I'm it's thinking too much. I'm thinking now because if you use that logic, then No Way Home, it doesn't make sense for me now. Like you said, use different times, but like Tobey Maguire and Holland and
Those are not really
Garfield
different. Yeah, they're different points of time in their own world.
in their own world, isn't it that the
Yeah,
same
in
thing
their own
as
worlds.
so that the
They're
Superman
yeah,
and
they're just
Wolverine, they're just different worlds, right? It's just basically different worlds. That's I mean
they're
that's how
just
I see it.
they're different. Yeah, they're different realities.
But then the way
They're
that you
not part
said
of
like
time.
like
But
Deadpool
why
should
do we
have
have
gone back
time?
his own time
Why do
to
yeah,
get
he could have gone back, he could have went forward in his time, or he could have just went to his time. In his time, there's a Wolverine alive.
no. That's so Logan and Deadpool is the same universe.
Yes.
Yes, but you're saying that he should have gone back in time or
He
whatever
shouldn't have
before
he
Logan
no,
happened.
he didn't have to. he wasn't there yet. Logan hasn't died in his time yet.
So he should have just gone. Oh, he could just gone back his own
He
timeline and
should have
find
just went
Logan.
to the X mansion and said, "Hey, Professor X, because you're not dead yet either. Can you tell me where Logan is?" So I could tell that
But
dude.
didn't they nip that in the butt? And Paradox wouldn't let him go back to his own time.
Well, he stole that device. I guess he could go anywhere he wanted to.
He
Because
could.
got to think to dig up that dead
So
Wolverine, he had it. No, let's hear
no,
it.
no, no, no. I got it. No, go
He
ahead, go
went
ahead.
forward and future in his own timeline. He
Yeah.
went to after Wolverine was dead.
You could have said that he should have broken the his cable device and then used that anyway because it was in the same time.
Yeah,
Remember?
but you got to remember though, he's in his own timeline, and instead of going to talk to Wolverine that's alive, he goes all the way to the year 2030 or something, where Wolverine's dead, and plus the timeline shouldn't even exist by now because according to Paradox, it's falling
Yeah,
apart,
it's falling apart. Yeah.
and he digs up
He
Wolverine.
shouldn't be able to take out Wolverine. You're saying, yeah,
Yes,
I got you.
if he's an anchor and it's falling apart, then how did he travel all the way forward?
Whoa,
So I guess
whoa, whoa!
Paradox lied.
This is. I feel like this discussion is also very Back to the Future too.
Well, here's the problem. Here's the problem I have with it.
Okay.
The MCU already set up how time travel works, and then they just decided to throw it in the trash.
See, I don't agree with that
Okay.
because I don't believe personally. I don't believe there's a set of time travel rules at all. There's
Well,
no
they
time
made
travel
one,
rules.
but they made time travel rules for their
I do. I get
universe.
it
I
too
mean,
from
they have a
an
big old
Endgame.
giant
Yeah.
discussion. Yeah, they have a big discussion about it in Endgame, and then even I mean, Iron Man shows you how tells you how it works. All the movies in the MCU tell you how it eventually works. Ant-Man tells you how it works. And then all of a sudden,
But then
ever since they made the cartoons, yeah, ever since they made the What If cartoon show, they basically kind of trashed the timeline,
But it
the
feels
way
like you know
timeline.
what? I feel like we're using timeline very loosely. I wish we have other different terms because I don't see them as timelines but alternate universes.
Well, there's alternate universes. You got to think. What if is alternate universes?
Right, but then you
TVA is timelines, and it's alternate universes made through timeline changes. While you got to think, what if it's just were smooth their own universes and never verged off of a timeline change.
I'm very having difficulty trying to understand this. I can't comprehend. Like, it feels
Okay.
like every timeline is
Well,
like a different bus route.
yeah.
So
Well,
they all be
each
different.
timeline, if you each timeline, just the act of going into another time, you have already made an alternate universe. That's time. That's what the
Oh,
TVA
just yeah.
cuts. If you go, let's yeah,
Oh, I understand what you mean
Hawkeye,
by the rules now. Okay, 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 okay,
yeah,
okay.
like Hawkeye, when he went back just to test the time deal,
He
would
already
have
made the
came
yeah.
back. They would have showed up and pruned him.
They should. Okay, I see what you mean. But
They
then,
would they
yeah,
should
hold on.
say they
But it
probably
also,
did.
but it also like it's supposed to happen. So which one is it? Is Hawkeye supposed to go to when he tests that? It was supposed to happen.
Yeah, it's
But
supposed to
then at the
happen in
same
the
time, you're
sacred
right.
line.
It's sent another ripple where like it
Yeah,
created
made a
another
ripple.
deal. Yeah.
But after he went back, they probably pruned it.
Oh, just because it's
That's
supposed
the
to
thing.
happen, and then
Yes,
they
every
prune it.
time.
Okay.
Yeah, if after you take off and you make another deal, then you come back to your time. They
Oh, that's
just
interesting. I never thought about that.
so all his crap that he saw, all those kids that are looking for and calling for him,
They're all gone.
they're in the void.
They're all gone.
They're in the
Well,
void.
they're not in a void, right? They just kill off
Well, it
everybody.
depends. Well, sometimes if they hit you with the stick, you go to the void.
Right, but then I think they just kill off
Yeah, if they
everybody.
blew it up, you're
Yeah,
dead.
yeah.
But if
They
they hit
probably
you with a
blow.
stick, you go to the void.
That
Which
was
by
the
the
thing that Loki was trying to stop. Like you
Yeah,
can't
but we also
just
want to
do
point
this.
out there is actually one thing in this movie that can kill Deadpool.
Interesting. Okay.
It's the dragon in
Oh,
the
that kills
void.
all the Goliath, right?
Yeah, it wipes out everything out. Yeah,
Oh,
all he had to do was get him, and then he would be gone.
that's right. That's what the thing that they were all afraid of.
Yeah,
And which was funny when they said Goliath, and then Deadpool pointed out, like, "What in season one Loki, like episode 5, Goliath is here?" I thought that was pretty funny because I forgot what episode he came out of, but it was right. It was episode 5 when Sophie or Sophie, right? I can't remember. She was able to enchant the monster for a little bit. And you know what? We already been deep into discussion of like all this timeline and stuff. Let's go get back to the movie.
All right.
So the first major cameo I was really surprised to see that I didn't think was going to happen was actually Chris Evans. And I did
Yeah.
like that Deadpool thought he was Captain America.
Well,
So when he's
everybody, you're led to believe Captain
because of
America
the
because they show
sleeve,
you
yeah,
part of a. They show you a part of a. No, because if you look at
the
his suit,
shield. That's right.
they probably show you, and it wasn't really even a shield. It just showed you something in the sand. It looked like Captain
Yep,
America.
it's yep.
And then, of
Captain
course,
America's
him
shield.
he
Yeah.
pops out, and of course, Deadpool leads you on. I think it is, but I kind of assumed that he was going to be Captain
And you know what's
America.
really funny? Captain America. They also said in this movie, like Wolverines, it's hard to come by in the void. So like
Yeah,
immediately, like Johnny Storm. Oh yeah, that's a definitely character that will probably get pruned because the way that his attitude is. That makes perfect sense.
yeah. But like I said, though, you kind of knew he wasn't going to be Captain America.
Did you read all the or did you watch any of the Chris Evans interviews of why he wanted to do this?
No,
Oh, you did it? This is one of the
no.
best things. I know it's so
I
funny. So
got other things to do.
what?
Sorry.
I mean, like I just casually browse YouTube, right?
Yeah,
So what
yeah. I
happens is
don't.
like you
I
know
don't.
at the post credit scene, all the stuff that he said, they wrote that for Chris Evans. So when Chris read it, he's like, if you're able to get this approved, and I could
Oh yeah,
see
I
this
read
in the movie,
that.
yeah. So he read
Yeah,
that.
I
He's like,
saw
he did it,
that. Well,
and I
yeah.
thought that was really cool because he actually
Because they asked
memorized
him
it.
if you need help or you need cue
Oh,
cards. He's
cue
like, I don't
cards,
need.
yeah.
It's like
cue
I
cards.
don't need any of that.
I'm a professional.
Yeah, I'm a professional. I don't need that. I'd
So
be
I thought that
happy to
was
say
really
that.
cool. I mean, like, it's really funny to see Chris Evans in a different light because he was already in a cameo with the Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy. It was also very Marvel related when he showed up on that cameo too, and I thought it was really funny just to see him in the movie, and then he mentioned Reed talking about the void, which I thought it was awesome. I didn't even think about that. Do you remember that line when he said like you're in the void, and they asked what is the void? Well, Reed seems to think that
Yeah.
it's like the
Yeah,
end all.
that was but they're already missing all their team. But you pretty much kind of got to guess that he may not be Captain America.
Oh yeah.
Because
I
remember,
know.
because as soon as they show him, you see the Fantastic Four car coming
Yep.
in the lead.
Yes.
So that's pretty much
I
basically
thought it
telling
was just
you
great.
get ready. Because then of course he does it. Because he's going, oh, he's gonna say it. And of course Logan's like, he's gonna say
Kind of, but the
what?
first time it threw Deadpool off is like no one's running Dog Turd or something, and then like Deadpool looked at him like,
Yeah,
oh, that's weird.
but so then of course they get a lot. Then we get introduced to all the villains, some villains,
Oh yes,
which we
the
get to see
first
Sabretooth, which is actually the real Sabretooth from the
from
first
the
movie.
first one. Yes, he's
But then,
the only
and then
same one. Oh, Pyro,
he's
Pyro was there.
Pyro. Yeah, Pyro was the same one. Him was the same one. Who else? Was there any other ones?
No,
Because did you see one of the bad guys was what was his name?
I,
Bullseye.
Bullseye was there.
Bullseye wasn't there. He had
No.
the same jacket on. He didn't look like he didn't
Oh,
look
he didn't look like
Bullseye.
Bullseye.
His head was bald, but he had the jacket on, so he's Bullseye.
Blob was in the movie, but he's not the same actor.
But it's not the same actor. They had everybody that we've ever seen in all the X-Men. They're all in this movie, but they weren't the same actor. Psylocke was here,
Yeah,
which you
Azazel,
almost
Lady
Azazel,
Deathstrike.
yeah,
Yeah,
Toad.
Toad was a different person.
Everybody was even, and plus, of course, Juggernaut.
Yeah, Juggernaut was not Vinnie Jones.
And
Hey,
he wasn't, and he most definitely wasn't the Juggernaut.
I
Legacy
never
Deadpool
thought
2.
about this. You probably find that interesting, or you maybe like when Johnny Storm fights Pyro. Pyro can easily defeat him because all he does is do the flame and he just absorbs it.
Yeah, he controls his fire.
Yeah,
Yeah, because that's the thing. Anything that's fire, Pyro automatically has a control over. Like Magneto has control over metal.
yep,
It's like it'd be like Magneto fighting Wolverine. He can just
yeah.
twist him up into a pretzel and be done with it.
Or well, there's one. It was in a cartoon. You saw that, right? Where Magneto took the antimanium out of Wolverine.
I've seen it in the comic book.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
we stripped it out of his
he
body.
stripped it out of his body, and he almost died. But then it's Wolverine. But then going back to the start.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, though, if you remove all the adamantium from Wolverine's body, he gets all his mutant powers back better.
Yes,
because
better.
The adamantium actually hampers
Was-
his.
Yep, his
His
healing
powers.
factor. So
So
yeah, I
essentially-
saw that too. So I did like that was the first funny thing that Hugh Jackman said in the movie when they defeat Johnny Storm and then he fell down from a high altitude. I thought he was gonna be dead because the way that he
Yeah,
hit
oh, yeah,
himself.
hey, look, because he's landed on his neck.
and then Logan said like, "We don't know that guy."
Yeah, we don't know that guy.
I thought that was something that Deadpool was gonna say, but like, no, we don't know that guy. That was brilliant. I did like, the soundtrack of this movie is superb. As like the first two is superb, right? when the first scene before even we saw Chris Evans and Deadpool fighting Wolverine, ACDC comes on when they were in
Yeah.
the void, the
Well,
hellspell. I was like,
also,
whoa.
plus we got the Wolverine. We got the Wolverine versus Deadpool fight where Wolverine actually got to look and walk and attack like Wolverine.
Oh, so
Because
that's the thing I
did,
pointed out.
did you
Oh,
read that? Did you read that deal where he said he tried to do that in X-Men 1 and they told him it looks ridiculous?
oh, I'm so glad you brought. Let's talk about the ridiculous point. First of all, the costumes we talked about in X-Men 1. They
Yeah.
thought it was going to look ridiculous, but then you pointed out to me, which thank you, that well we didn't have the material at the time, which I understand. We
Yeah.
do have it
Yeah.
now.
Well, they
The
didn't even try, I don't feel
Oh,
like.
the first time when I'm pretty sure it's CGI, right? When he did that crawling thing, dude, I almost cried because
Wow.
I remember what you said. Like, yeah, they didn't want to do that. Oh, I remember like they didn't want to do that because they think it looks stupid. Yeah, I would agree. We couldn't do that CGI back then, but he did it more than once, and it was awesome.
Oh yeah, because the best thing is, my
Oh,
favorite thing, my favorite scene in this one, for Wolverine, one of his moves is when they kill all the Deadpools,
yep,
and he jumps out the bus out the back
yeah,
window. Because usually I hate when they do the stop motion or slow it down. It was awesome. I was
yes,
like, and plus
yeah.
I love that. That's the best scene. Really, that's the best scene because it's like a side scroller where they go down the screen and they're killing all the Deadpools.
Oh,
And
yes.
the thing is, it shows it because you can see Wolverine. He stabs one guy. He runs out. He stabs the guy with two deals and grabs his pistols and
Oh, and then shoots him in the head.
and
Yes.
blows his brains out. And of course, they shoot Cowboy Deadpool when they get in the bus. He crawls out the top. They
Oh,
yank it back in, and
oh
then
yeah,
they
yeah.
throw him out. Then they throw him out.
I was telling Heather like in Kill Bill, right, when the bride was killing all those people so bloody, they had to make it black and white because I explained to Heather like if there's too much blood in the scene continuously, right, they have to give it an NC-17 after a certain time, and they did that in this movie, but the way they hide it is they fight on the bus. So you can't
Yeah.
see all the slaughtering and all the stuff. I'm like,
All the
dude,
windows
that's
turn
cool.
red.
Yeah,
Yeah, all
oh,
the
it
windows
just
turn red.
turned
It's
red.
good. It's good.
That was good. So when
Plus they played Madonna's
yeah,
song,
Madonna's song.
which they said funny thing they said that they had to meet with her to get the song.
They
And they
sure
showed a
did.
sequence.
Yep.
But here's the neat thing I thought was cool because a lot of people have been trashing Madonna because they didn't get the song on the soundtrack, which I think
Oh,
is. But I
yeah.
think they said that she pointed out another way for them to do their scene, and they liked it so much they used it.
Yep.
So I'm thinking, well, hey,
Well, Madonna's saving, or she was remixing that for herself anyway for her
yeah, no,
35th
that's her.
anniversary or
That's
something.
her
So
stuff.
it's
Yeah,
her
that's her.
stuff. So, I mean, I'm upset too. We didn't get to
Yeah,
hear that
I'm not
version.
really.
Heather
Yeah.
tells me like it sounds the same. I'm like, you should trash them out because it does not sound the same as the original.
Oh,
Okay, you did not. I'm an audiophile. Like that's why I have different headphones to listen to different stuff. I do,
yeah.
and she tells me those two songs they are not the same. I don't know
You-
where you come from. That song was out when you were
Yeah.
2, so you need to shut up.
Oh man.
No, I didn't
You
say
told
exactly what you were.
yeah, I was just to say you told her.
I was so
Yeah,
upset when
right.
she said it was the same song.
I can't wait
It's
till
the
she
same
sees. I
song?
hope she watches you. I hope she watches this little.
I'll tell her
segment over
face
and
right
over
now
again.
later when we get
Yeah,
to.
no, you won't.
Oh,
Are you
come
gonna
on.
edit? Are
You
you gonna
know it was
re-edit
two.
this?
You know it's two different one, right? Like
Those different ones.
it's kind of like
okay.
the
You don't-
Terminator Salvation
you
one, the
don't-
9-inch
I,
nail.
yes, it
Yep,
is.
it
Yep,
is
I
two
know.
different
And
things.
you had a copy of it. I had a
Yep,
copy of it too.
it's
And my computer
different.
crashed, and I lost it.
Yep, it's two different ones.
I actually think it's still on there. I
Ah, you
still
could
got
probably
it.
find it on YouTube now. Those things are
Oh,
all
remember,
over
man, you
YouTube.
fella, you said you looked all over YouTube and you couldn't find it.
So I could find it. It's
So
not
you
the
didn't.
best clear version,
Oh, okay.
but I can
I
still
have.
listen to it at
I'm
least.
sure I have a very clear, good version.
So I did like Deadpool pointing out that like the first time he fight Wolverine, he's like, oh man, this is gonna hurt a lot. It's gonna hurt a lot.
Well, also, like he says, "Hey nerds, get your favorite
Yeah, get your
sock
favorite
out."
sock on. It's gonna be awesome.
And this is the sad thing. The neat thing is that's not even the best. That is not the best fight between them.
That
at
is
all.
not the best
The
fight.
best
You know
fight
what?
in this movie is
It's
in
in
the
the
mini
Honda
van.
Odyssey.
The Honda Odyssey. I
Not
like this.
only the
Hey, you
fight
got a
was,
Honda Odyssey.
I do. Not only the fight
Then
was
you should
good.
fight in that Honda Odyssey. Let's see what
Oh
we can
man,
do.
I, whoever the choreographer is for that
There'll be a
fight
lot of
scene,
crying on our parts.
I told you even after when we saw the movie together, right? In
Yeah.
that choreographer scene, it does remind me very much of a Jackie Chan movie because Jackie
And
Chan
that
likes
party.
to fight in tight spaces, right? And then like those two dudes are 6'2" and 6'3", fighting in the Honda. I'm not even that. I'm only 5'10", and I sit in the driver's seat all the time. Like every time I'm looking, like how the hell did they fight in here? Whoever choreographed that is
Oh, that was
superb.
brilliant.
They need to give him some kind of award to fight in the
Plus,
Honda
plus,
Odyssey.
it did have a lot of. It had a lot of. They say a lot of mean stuff. Try to put the other character in the spot because, like the Wolverine speech, and
Okay,
because
so
in the
Shane is
speech,
talking about the speech inside the Odyssey before they fight. That is my favorite scene of this whole
oh, that
movie.
is. It's like
That is,
you could
dude.
even save a relationship with a stripper.
Yep. And then
Oh,
he actually
he's brutal,
silenced. That
but he's
speech is
not the
the
most
only
brutal
thing
thing.
that silenced Deadpool.
Yeah, it shut him down. But
He
it
didn't
wasn't. He
have a
was,
comeback.
and that's the sad thing. He was pretty cruel, but he wasn't. Still, Cassandra was one of the cruelest characters in this.
Yeah, that too. But it's very funny. I was talking to my son, right, the 12-year-old, and I was talking to Heather. It's because that scene is so, they might not understand it now because they haven't watched all the stuff or maybe we some of the stuff. Like they both lost people that they love, right? And then they both, even Deadpool 2, he's trying to kill himself, remember, because he lost
Yeah,
Vanessa.
but he can't.
And that's what Logan was trying to do too, but he can't. So that speech was like, if you know all the other past histories of Deadpool and Wolverine, when they lose a loved one, they it's kind of like the emotional thing like triggered you really hard, and that's why like Deadpool couldn't say anything, and that's why I love that speech so much. And I also tell Ethan like, well, Wolverine liked to stab Deadpool in the head a lot because he knew he could live through that. If you pay attention, he doesn't do that to everyone. Like Wolverine does that thing to the chest, but he doesn't stab everyone in the head the way he does to Deadpool. Even in the
Uh,
in the gambling thing, he stabbed his calls right through his head. And like when he found the other X-Men, I forgot which version it was, the one with the black sleeveless with the red line. He,
oh yeah, that's the Age of Apocalypse
oh yeah,
stuff.
yes. He stabbed him in the head first, then he just kept stabbing him in the chest. I
Yeah, that
thought
one, that
it was
Wolverine
so
most likely
great.
was trying to kill him.
Oh yeah, that was going to try to kill him. And then the Hulk shows up on all these
Oh
awesome
yeah, oh
things.
yeah. Well, that's the variants, all the variants we get to see of the Wolverine that people dreamed of.
Oh, that is
We
that.
get to
That
see
was my first
Patch.
introduction to my Wolverine, like the brown and gray. No,
Oh, that was
brown
fine.
and
That
orange one too.
brown and yellow.
Yeah, brown and yellow. Yeah, I gotta show this,
Okay.
but it's not that issue. But like,
Well, yeah, I was going to say, what printing is it? What
it's
printing is
probably.
that?
I have no idea. It's recent. I only bought this within the last few couple of years.
Oh, it'd be right on the inside.
I don't want to open it.
Oh, okay.
And of course, I bought this. The Uncanny X-Men cards. It's just like Jim Lee's
Oh, yeah.
notes on when he drew
I have
the
some of those
X-Men.
cards.
I have all of it except for the
Oh, I
holograms.
don't. I don't have any of those. I just
Yeah.
have like maybe bought 2 packs of the X-Men cards.
Because this one is only 100 of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
only 100
I only
counting.
ended up. Yeah, I only ended up with 2 packs of
Oh,
it. So
105 counting the holograms. Because I
just spent
always
too
find
much
it
more money on other
interesting
stuff
when because when Deadpool first appeared, it showed him as a villain.
because he was a villain.
Yeah,
A lot of people are villains when they first show up. The X-Men, and then they join.
Gambit,
Gambit,
Gambit is the villain.
Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, yes, see.
Who else was villains? I think Psylocke was a villain for a little bit.
Yeah, they showed that in the movies later on. I mean, when we do this show on Apocalypse, that's very true. Storm was a villain. Well, in the movies.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I guess she really wasn't a villain. She was just kind of a misguided kid.
Yeah, misguided kid. Well, I guess that's one way to say it. So, what is the most surprising cameo to you of all the people you see? Surprise. Oh, that's actually a
It's
couple. Happy Hogan.
Blade. Yeah, I was surprised to see Happy Hogan. I was way surprised to see how
I
Happy
was
Hogan,
really
but
surprised.
I was like that, and it belonged. I guess I was surprised to see Blade.
Yeah, right? Because,
I think everybody was surprised to see Blade.
yes.
So, wow, I wouldn't ever thought Blade was going to pop up.
Because everybody knew Elektra was in it because Jennifer
Yeah,
Garner
everybody
was
knew
already
it. Yeah,
credited.
Electra. Yeah, they already made a big deal of Electra.
And
Of
then
course,
you and I was waiting for
of
Daredevil because
course,
Ben
of course,
Affleck.
Gambit was showed up, but the Gambit. But I mean, I guess I'm still like, oh, Blade's here, and then Gambit shows up. I'm like, huh, Blade's still here. And I mean, it makes sense. Blade should have been there. But
Yeah,
I would have expected Blade to see Blade because Blade was like the first. It's almost like the forgotten kind of because
it
a lot of
is.
people don't even. Well, a lot of people don't even know Blade is part of the MCU. I mean, even
Or
up to
even
today,
Marvel.
even yeah, I've had people go. I was like, yeah, Blade is a Marvel comic book. No, no way. I'm like, yes, Blade is a Marvel comic book. He's a
Yes.
Darkhold Redeemer and all that other stuff.
Yep.
But now a lot of people know him now because everybody goes Midnight Suns.
Yeah, Midnight Suns. Yes.
And of course, they did actually talk to Nicolas Cage about being a Ghost Rider, but it fell
Oh, I
through.
did. It fell
And
through
I'm
because
sure, and I don't, who knows why it did. My guess, and it's probably a wrong guess, but it usually seems to be the right guess, is because Cage is sometimes difficult.
oh, that's true too.
He probably made all kinds of, oh, I'm going to ride in on my bike and do this. And like, we just need you to do this. No, no, if I'm not, I can't ride my bike and the horse and all that. They're like, okay, well, we'll talk to you later.
Oh, that's interesting. I haven't read about this. I mean, like why he didn't. I know they talked to him, but
Oh,
then
and
that's
they
all I
probably
know.
will never tell us why he didn't.
Yeah, they
But
probably just say
sometimes,
schedule conflict or something.
but sometimes Cage just wants some outlandish crap.
That is true, but
Or maybe they just really couldn't work him in.
yeah, they couldn't work him in.
Because I mean, he did show up as Superman in Flash, so
Yep,
he
he
didn't have a problem
sure
with that.
did.
I think it would have been better for him to show up as Ghost Rider because I prefer Ghost Rider than Superman, and he did a good job as Ghost
I would like
Rider.
to see Ghost Rider in this movie, but
But
we
here's
didn't.
the thing is, a lot of people don't know this because nobody watched Agent Shields. There's already a Ghost Rider in
And
the
oh
MCU,
yeah, I saw the at least on
and
YouTube.
and if you watched it by Shield standards, Nicolas Cage actually was there too. We just didn't know it because remember,
Whoa.
because that kid gets killed, the Ghost Rider gets killed. He's laying on the street, and a motorcycle shows up. And the guy gets out and transfers the spirit of vengeance to him.
Oh.
So in a way, Johnny, what was his name?
Johnny
Johnny
Storm. Oh,
Blaze.
Johnny Blaze.
Yeah, we don't see Johnny. So Johnny Blaze shows up and transfers the spirit of vengeance into him.
Wow. So I was
Which
since we
I actually like. The Ghost Rider was in Agents of Shield too. So
I know it's not a lot, but I haven't watched those yet, so I can't
yeah, I only had a
comment.
few episodes, but I was like, this dude, this could have been a spinoff, and I would rather watch this.
Oh, see what? So Marvel Television is coming out, so we never know. So I
Um,
guess so I do like the well, Happy Hogan was a huge surprise. I really like this, so I read the interview about
oh
that.
yeah,
So John
yeah.
Favreau.
I sent you that interview too when they talked to him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I sent that
Oh,
to
yes,
you.
I did. Yes.
Did you read that? Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
I
pretty
read that.
good.
Yep, because he's a fan of Deadpool, so he wanted to be in it anyway.
Well, apparently, I mean, John Favreau, you can't just say he's a fan of Deadpool. He's a fan of the
Of every
MCU
yeah,
himself because
Marvel stuff.
he
Yeah.
helped create it. Yeah, he helped make it. He's a big fan. He's got to be a big fan. He does Star Wars too.
Yes, the Star Wars.
And
So he's a
it is
huge
neat.
nerd.
And plus, he does have a tie to 20th Century Fox because he played Foggy
Ah,
Nelson
that's
in
right.
Daredevil too. So
Yeah.
I mean,
So he is a comic book nerd. Definitely,
he's a
John
big comic
Favreau.
book nerd.
Oh
So
yes.
he's kind of got the beyond the
I
nerd
thought
part.
that was really good.
He could be Marvel Jesus if he wanted to be.
It feels like he is Marvel Jesus, but then Kevin Feige
Well,
has that now. Come on,
well,
everything that's happening right now is because of Feige.
what
You know,
if,
if
what
he
if
didn't talk
there's
to Hugh
yeah,
Jackman would
what if,
never thought like, well, I could do it again.
I just want to throw it out there. What did Ryan Reynolds calls Blade Wesley Snipes? He calls him
We,
Marvel Daddy. Well, because he was the
he
first.
was the
Because he
first
was the
one to
first.
have that to
But he
kickstart. Yeah,
really wasn't. I mean, come on. We had the Hulk.
the
It
Hulk came out
sucked.
after. No, no, no.
No,
Oh,
no,
I
no,
see what
no,
you mean. You're talking
no.
about the
I'm talking
'60s
about
one.
there's been other Marvel shows. I
It
mean,
has, but it
a
was
lot of people are saying only because Blade, this is
it's
why
a
this is all
seed.
still
It's
alive.
a seeded. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess I could say it, but I wouldn't say it too much because, like I said, they made a lot of other Marvel
Hey,
stuff.
with Wesley Snipes coming back now, Hugh Jackman's record's been defeated because Blade came
Oh
out.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Got him. It's Otis.
dude, I went and I watched Jennifer Garner training. It was really impressive because at our age, or she's a lot, I mean, not a lot older than us, but she's older than us.
Close to
Even
right.
Wesley Snipes, he's
Oh yeah, Wesley Snipes.
62. He even talked about like, man, when Ryan approached me, right? Like, nah, he's talking about like, and I'm thinking like, nah, I gotta get back in shape. But then I noticed when he was in this movie, he was a lot skinnier because I think he's
Yeah, thinner.
older. Yeah, he's thinner. And then Chen and Tatum, man, Chen and Tatum's training is super impressive. I guess out of all of them, I guess he was the youngest one. I think
Yeah,
he's
but
our age.
he didn't really need it all because the suit hid him most of everything.
Oh, I'm not talking about muscles. I'm talking about
Oh,
like
you're talking
the
about
way that he
the
fight with the staff
oh
and
yeah.
stuff.
Well, you're
The
right. He did look.
choreographer, he
He did.
trained for
Let me
that.
just put this. I like to hate Channing Tatum. I
Yeah,
loves it. It makes me happy. But this was just awesome.
this was
If he
awesome.
if he, if he showed up as a game bet in a regular standalone movie, yeah, I'd be there.
Yep. He's probably
Now, if he ever shows
he's on
back
that
up as,
same level of
but
Ryan Reynolds though.
if
He
he ever
want to
does
get
show
this
back up,
move made.
but if he ever shows back up as Duke and GI Joe, I'll be very upset again.
Come on, Paramount's gonna put that to trash. They just gonna reboot it anyway.
They
Don't you
should have
think?
rebooted it before he even showed up.
But I do love Channing Tatum as Gambit.
Oh yeah,
Don't,
because I mean he did everything. It was Gambit, dude.
Cause that's
And this is
that's
the
what he
nice thing
wanted to do. You know?
because I'm glad it didn't we didn't get the Fox version
Oh,
because
I'm
we would
so
have got the
happy
Fox
too.
because somebody did play Gambit. There was a Gambit already.
I'm so glad you said that. It was supposed to be Channing Tatum, but he was shooting GI Joe.
Yeah, well, he should have just walked off set.
We're not gonna get into that, but like just talking about the facts.
But
Like,
who was that? Who played it? Who played Gambit?
an
Can't
actor I'm
remember.
not familiar with.
And it is. I thought it was an actor we're supposed to know. Yeah, it's an actor that went into made other movies and then he just kind of disappeared. Wasn't that John what's his name?
Well, I could tell you.
Princess of Marvel. What was that movie that didn't make it? The Disney movie that he would have been awesome.
Oh, John Carter.
John Carter. Isn't that John Carter? I think that's John Carter, dude.
Hold on, let me see.
It is John
I
Carter.
think it is. I think you might be right. It's the same actor.
It's John
I'm
Carter.
gonna double check it real quick.
That guy just must have some bad luck.
Oh yeah, Taylor Kish.
Yep, Taylor Kitsch. That was John Carter.
Yeah, that's John Carter.
Which I still, like I said, come on Disney, give me a second John Carter, and go ahead and make us a Gambit.
It's because
Now, let's give us
you
a
and I
good
like to
X-Men.
make movies, right? And then we want to make things that we love. And I'm so happy to see Channing Tatum finally get to that role of Gambit.
But they also the thing is though they also stuck to the character because look,
They do
20th
stuck to
Century
the character.
Fox, 20th Century Fox made a lot of superhero movies and they go, oh, this looks stupid, so we'll just take it off. Because none of the X-Men wore hardly any of their costumes. They didn't wear any of their stuff on their heads. They didn't wear anything. Until this movie, Wolverine never wore the Wolverine mask.
Nope.
So basically, we had only Logan. We never got the Wolverine into this movie.
Yeah, you're
Till
very right.
now,
We
we
talked
just had
about this
Logan.
before too.
Yeah.
When Ryan Reynolds is in the creative seat, right? He made Colossus. So basically, he made all the
Yeah.
people that he loved X-Men
Wow, you gotta think
into
about it.
what he
You're
want
right.
to see.
We got the real Colossus.
Juggernaut,
We got the real Juggernaut.
and
The
then
real
Wolverine.
Juggernaut, not the Vinny. And then we got the real Wolverine.
And then I'm pretty sure he wanted
But-
Magneto.
but
That's
we-
why I
but
think
by
one
the
of
way,
his favorites also Magneto, but then they
we
killed
also
him in
got-
this movie.
We also got the Gambit.
The Gambit, yep. He will also
Exactly.
got
He
Gambit
wore
that
the whole
exactly I
costume.
want to see. That's the Gambit I want to see. I wish Tatum was skinnier, like I guess like Wesley Snipes skinny, because Gambit is skinny, dude, like Spider-Man.
He is drawn. He is drawn pretty skinny.
Yeah. But then,
he's
hey-
tall too.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's tall.
That's
Like,
why he looks skinny. 'Cause he's so tall.
oh, I love Gambit. This is one of the things that we said
I've
before.
actually never been a Gambit fan. Really.
Ryan Reynolds and Gambit is like Fox couldn't do this 10 years earlier when they're like in their early 30s.
Yeah.
Now they're like our age. Like, come on.
Oh well, I'm good with it.
I hate Fox. But not as much as I hate Sony.
Yeah,
But Fox
yeah.
is gone anyway, so
I didn't hate Fox. It's just
I do like that we get to see the true versions of like, I guess the closest
I mean,
true Magneto
'cause you gotta
would
think,
be
because
first
you can't
class.
hate on Fox. You can't hate on Fox all the way because you
No.
know why? Fox was the one who took a gamble on a guy called George Lucas and made for Star Wars on the film. You know,
That is true too.
nobody else wanted to do Star Wars. Nobody.
Yeah, but at the same time, they
And
didn't.
then of course, they did make the
Oh.
X-Men.
I do like Fox in that way. They did give
Fox-
all the creative rights back to George Lucas, which was dumb. Now, after that mistake, no one does that ever again.
Yeah. Well, also like that said, they went ahead and did make the X-Men. Like it or
Yeah,
not.
you know what? You're right. I did love it when they make the X-Men. I know we talked about that last time. I know it's really funny. I talked to Heather about this, right? Because you expected you expected a lot. I'm pretty sure that you
Oh,
were
I
not the
still
only one.
expect a lot,
Okay?
yeah.
No,
Oh,
I
I'm
understand.
sure I'm not-
But
I'm
my
sure I
point
wasn't
is
only
that like
disappointed.
that I told her every time I see a movie that comes out, right? Even TV shows, there's still a 11-year-old lamb inside here that I'm so happy to see this done. Because like I'm 44 right now. This is the first time we saw a true Wolverine. When we could have seen that when I was 20. But we didn't never get that. It's kind of like you said, like Fox is
Should've.
like, oh, this
Yeah.
looks stupid. Okay,
Yeah.
like the dashing. I told Heather immediately.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for that because that's how Wolverine attacks, and we never saw that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. I think with Disney and well, I kind of say everybody, the MCU itself,
Mm-hmm.
they're like make the movie look like a comic book. If they jump out or land, they gotta look like they landed like a comic
So
book
make it
panel.
true to the
Yeah. See, most
creation.
if you look at it, you could actually probably turn a lot of the MCU movies into comic books easily. You could the
Yes,
picture it's free, you could freeze it, draw it, it would be on a comic book. But 20th Century Fox, no, none of their stuff looks like a comic book
they want to
panel.
make it real life, right? In a, if I'm
Yeah, like we
describing
like if we
correctly.
watch X-Men, look at that filming of X-Men. Nobody makes any comic book moves,
No.
hardly at all. In this movie, they make tons of comic book moves. Almost every Wolverine move is a comic book move. They may make fun of their comic book landings
Yeah.
and they make jokes, but they do it anyways, and it still looks awesome.
Oh, this is awesome.
Because they go, "Oh, nobody could really land like that. Wolverine could.
Yes.
Captain America can,
Yeah. And you know what's
and
really cool about that claw?
apparently so can Johnny Storm."
You know what's really cool about that dash crawl thing? He did it more than one time.
Several times. They did
Yep.
a lot of the
That's yeah.
chest punching.
Oh, did it more than one time.
He also did it where he sticks it your head, sticks it in your neck, and
So Hugh
moves his hands,
Jackman,
and your head comes off.
Hugh Jackman actually had doubts on this uniform when they first got it on. Like the first day that him and Ryan were on set dressed, he was like, "Man, I don't know about this." But then when him and Ryan showed up on the set together, everybody was dead silent. He said like, "Well, everybody was dead silent, right?" Then Ryan assistant came and looked at us. Then he started crying because he said he waited so long to
What a
see this.
crime.
Hey, the first time I saw fucking Luke Skywalker, I don't care. This is
Oh,
a
wait,
rated
I'm
R show.
sorry.
On Mandalorian 2, I cried too. Because I never thought I would be able to see this, right? Kind of like when you're a boy. It's like the X-Men movies from Fox. Like, I don't think I'll ever see, because the way that they were going, right? I don't think we'll ever see that costume. Like, true, accurate,
Let's put
comical
it this way.
costume.
I didn't get happy until they made the Iron Man. When Iron Man showed
Oh,
up, I was
yes.
like, finally, it took them this long to finally get here. It was
Finally, accurate.
everything.
Yep.
It was everything and better than the comic.
Same thing I feel about Captain America. The first time I saw him in that uniform, like, the cloth one, right back in the 50s, then they
Yeah,
made the modern one. I felt the exact same way, like,
yeah,
wow. Actually, even Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is like, wow,
yeah.
that is very,
That was
very
I was
true and
impressed.
accurate.
I was impressed with the costume, but like Spider-Man, I wasn't a fan. But like I said, I watched all the movies, even Batman. I love Batman, but the problem is I wasn't going, oh, I can't wait to see a Batman movie. Somebody said, hey, here's Batman. Would you like to go see it? I'm like, yeah. But when they said Iron Man, I'm like, that's the movie I wanted to always see.
Oh, yes.
Well, X-Men was too, but I already saw it and I was disappointed. But then Iron Man showed up and I was like, oh, this is going to be disappointing.
Man, and that's an 8-year apart between X-Men and Iron Man. Like,
Yeah,
that,
well,
I mean, like, technology, not just, like, digitally, but even, like,
And
in fabrics and
the
stuff.
sad thing though, when I heard about Iron Man, I was ready for it to suck, man. Then I saw the trailer, it's like,
It
this
could
might be
work.
good. This might really
Yep.
like, huh, this is actually better in the trailer. Well, that's a lot of times I go to the theater. I'm like, oh, I would have rather just see the trailer 5 times.
I know what you mean, yeah. Yep. How I thought it was very funny like when they say the word MacGuffin.
Oh
Not a
yeah.
lot of people still know what that means. But that what is that? What did they call that? Time anchor? No wait. What did that machine that they call? Well, it doesn't matter. It's a
Oh
MacGuffin anyway.
yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's a bigger plot of the plot. But the whole thing about the movie is, like I said, we could tear it apart, but because the movie is really just supposed to have fun, showing you Wolverine and Deadpool together. That was the whole point of this movie.
Yeah, that is true. It's just a fun MCU
And
movie.
plus we get to see Ant-Man and he's dead. See, here's the funny thing. You notice a lot of the MCU movies, there's always people living inside of some large being's body, especially in Guardians of the Galaxy.
What's the Guardians of the Galaxy? I can't remember.
Remember Guardians of the Galaxy? They got that big giant head and they're all living on it, that Celestial's body.
Oh, that's why Ego. Yeah,
They're always living in somebody's body. Even Ego. We think Ego is Snake Plissken, but it turns out Ego is actually a big old planet. They just happen to be living on. So,
that's why he's the being.
and then in this movie, they're living inside of Ant-Man, which is
Yes.
actually kind of cool. Ant-Man's Playhouse. But and then of course we get to see Professor Xavier's sister.
That was very cool.
Well, that's way cool. She's just mean.
You know what's really cool? And that's what he
I
like
mean, I like it because your fingers taste like hate.
that's what I hate. Your fingers inside me and not even in a good way. I did like Cassandra, like the way they wrote her character, right?
Yeah, and she's kind of like the villain, but she was never the villain.
She wasn't until the villain until she find out what Paradox was doing.
Yeah, yeah. Till he
She would
invaded her home.
she would have been fine if
Yeah,
Paradox had been like, hey, just do your job, Paradox. Don't worry about
yeah.
working with
Well,
the old
actually,
ways.
well, that's the thing though, that they took her and they sent her to the void, and she loved the void. It became her home. She got her own little villains. She had her own little slaves, and she's as far as she was concerned, you didn't even have if you didn't come up like you could have come like Wolverine and Deadpool could have come up just talk to her. They didn't have to
Yes.
start the fight, you know. But she wanted things
You know what's
for
really
her
good or
world.
two? I
But
you
also
know,
like it. I want to say this though. You remember when Toad, they have Toad working for in the TVA Paradox. Remember Toad, not Toad,
no, Pyro.
Pyro. And remember she's about to probe him because hey, quit doing that. You all you
Yeah,
have to do is ask.
which just
I'll tell you.
ass, man. Like,
I'll tell you anything you want to know.
yeah,
You
just
just have to
ass. Sometimes
ask.
just ass. Like, okay, that was
But
pretty
yeah,
funny. That's very comic book like too to me.
but to see that, I think she's upset because Paradox has been keeping an eye on her the whole time,
Yep.
and she's thinking, "Well, this is my world. You don't belong."
I also love like a character like Professor X or Cassandra Nova, or even Scarlet Witch or Dark Phoenix, right? I'm always thinking like, how are they gonna defeat this being?
Yeah, somebody that great.
Yeah, like someone that great is gonna be hard to like, kind of like Galactus. Like
Yeah.
how he just you can put him down for
But
like
you got
a
to be
year.
careful though when you put a being that powerful, because then you do feeding them sometimes could be a letdown because you're like, that's all they did.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought too.
So far, it's been pretty good because like Thanos was good because it took 2 movies to kill him.
Yes, they did.
So I wonder how many movies it's going to take them to get
I told you when we talk
defeat
about
Doctor Doom.
Endgame, I did like that Thanos took the defeat gracefully. He knew he was
Yeah,
defeated. He just sat down and just took it. He
yep,
didn't be. He's not one of those like, oh no, I hate that.
yeah. He didn't do Loki. He didn't pull a Loki.
Yeah, he didn't do the Loki.
Yeah,
Like,
Loki's got
oh,
to be
I'm
that way. Right?
defeated. He's smart enough to understand. Like, maybe not this time, you know. But
Yeah,
that was really good. Like Cassandra,
but
they would
this
just
one,
go her through that
yeah,
time
and she wasn't even that
machine
big a
thing.
villain. And then, of course, she does him a favor, but then she also decides, well, the favor is also going to help me out too.
Yes.
But Wolverine trusted her, and
Oh
she's like,
yeah.
okay, yeah, go. But then here's another thing that bothers me though is, so they go to fight the TVA, and they just go out in a town. They're in like a town. So the TVA is just inside of a building, even though TVA is not even supposed to exist in anybody's town. Time.
Oh, the subway stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they go in the subway, and there's a TVA. What? But anyways,
Because
here's the
Paradox
neat
was
scene.
hiding away from it.
Here's
That's
the
why.
neat scene for me. When Wolverine has to go cut, is going to go cut those deals because it's Star Trek basically. Because they had the matter, the
Yeah, yeah,
antimatter, and
yeah.
the matter
Yep.
is Star Trek. Anyways, so Wolverine's going to get there, and of course, Deadpool locks him out to go do that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about the movie: Deadpool's going to need Wolverine, and Wolverine's going to get in there and help him. They're going to hold hands and hit
Yep.
both of it.
Yeah, I
But
thought
the
about that
thing,
too.
but the thing is the fight. You're still they do it the right way where you're still hoping he gets in there on time, even though you know it's going to. If you stop and quit get on the edge of your seat, you think, well, that's going to happen anyways
Yep.
because it's predictable. But it's still just watching that is like cool. It's the
Oh,
cool.
it is very cool. You know, it's really funny when they
And
did
of
that,
course,
right? I
you get
thought
to
that
see
was like
Wolverine's abs.
when
Yeah,
they did that. I'm thinking, oh. When they did that, I'm like, oh, they're gonna do Wrath of Khan immediately. Like when
yeah.
Deadpool
I
shut
did
that
too.
door, I'm
I
like,
was like,
they're gonna do Wrath of Khan.
I
I
was like,
know it.
please. I was like, please don't.
They're gonna
I've
do
had
it
enough.
anyway.
I've had enough of that.
Cause then he does that
Yeah, he did.
silent. So
He
I
did
don't
the
know.
sign.
I'm just really nervous about dying. Yeah, when I thought it was CGI, but the
Yeah,
abs, and then like, man,
well,
but that
especially because
you know
you
Hugh
didn't have
Jackman
he
though.
didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
He didn't have to show it because remember, I like it. He goes, he's wearing this big costume because of the divorce he lives.
Yeah, let's do some go. This isn't the. He's usually shirtless.
Yeah. Well, he does say a lot of things. So remember, there's a scene where they get on that boot. Remember that boot? They shoot off Cassandra's Nova place on the boot.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm from
Which whose
oh,
boot? Whose
Oh,
boot does that belong to?
oh, you didn't know? That's
Is
from
that
the
the
Centennial
Obadiah
beings from
Stane? Oh, I didn't
Days of the
see
Future
that.
Past.
Oh, that's the Sentinel. Yeah, I
Sentinel,
didn't realize
yes,
that
is
was
a Sentinel
Sentinel.
because
Well, it wasn't purple.
that's why Wolverine knows it was just worn down and stuff. That
Yeah, it
and
was a
then
purple. It
that's
should
why
have been purple.
Wolverine jumped on it because he knew what that was. That was
Yeah,
like,
but I remember
oh,
they shoot up, they land, and of course he's
that
like,
part
get
was
off
really
of me.
funny.
He goes, well, I gotta get my sword and knife out of your butt. And then he goes, that's why Blake had such a problem with you.
Yeah, get my mind out of your mouth. I did like so I didn't think like when they were rumoring like X-23 might be in the movie, and I'm thinking like they said they're not gonna touch Logan. How is this possible? And then they didn't.
Yeah.
And
And of
then
course they say she's not a variant, but she'd have to be.
yeah,
Because
she
he
has
already
to be.
went to the future and dug up Logan
Yeah.
from her timeline.
Another scene I love. Every time, like, well, the first time I was introduced in Deadpool, reading about him, right? I'm like, whoa, this guy. I still remember I was 12 because that's when Deadpool came out. Like, whoa, won't it be cool if Deadpool fights Wolverine because they both regenerate? That fight will go on forever. But then there's never a victor in any of their fights because they just both get tired.
Yeah,
Then they
well,
show that in this movie. They fought in the Odyssey so long, they both just fell asleep inside the car. I love that, dude. If I mean, like, that's not emotion for me, but I just like that they showed that because, like, you keep wondering, like, if they keep fighting like this, who's gonna win? Nobody. They just both fell asleep in the car and they just went. And the wrap around of the car seat, the seatbelt around Deadpool, it did remind me of what I told you about before in Civil War when when Daredevil was fighting Deadpool, right? And then Cable came in, then they both held him down, then they duct taped his whole body. So that way he couldn't move. I thought that was so funny, and I feel like that's exactly what happened in the car. Wolverine just get tired, and he just wrapped him around in a seatbelt, and I'm like, forget it. I thought it was cool enough that they showed that they just get tired, I'm like, forget it. It's not gonna go anywhere. And then Laura came and drove them away.
yeah.
I do like that. I'm pretty sure you liked it too. That was a short movie.
Oh yeah,
This is a short
it
movie.
was fine. It wouldn't bother me.
They
It
even made a
was
joke about it when Logan was
kept
taking a
running.
long time drinking the alcohol, and he's like, "No,
Yeah.
just take your time." Audience used to long run times.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that now.
And I asked my wife. My wife actually has a favorite scene in this movie. Is
Oh.
because they were singing "Bye Bye Bye" and the intro scene was dancing to it. My boys loved that scene. They
All
are
right, let's put it this way.
they're
I
about
like
to
that
know how to
scene.
sing "Bye Bye Bye" right now.
I like that scene, but I could actually cut that song right on out and not have a problem.
I know, because I think it just depends on the person if they like the song or not.
Yeah,
Oh, I
I
like
don't
that
like that
song.
song. I
I
don't like the
danced
song.
to it before. I know how
Oh,
to dance on
I'm
it.
sure you do. I'm
I know
sure
how
you do.
I know the
Okay.
lyrics.
That's
I
not
know how to
something I'd brag.
dance.
That's not you bragging to the wrong person.
Whatever. I'm just gonna dress as Deadpool. I'm gonna start maybe in a couple of months. I'm gonna dance because I told Ryan like, hey, we should learn how to do that
I
dance
would
because he
like to
loves
beat you
it.
with Wolverine's skull if you do that.
Oh, so I do have a problem with that scene in the beginning when he
Okay.
was able to break off those antimonium pieces so easily. Did it not bother you? It bothered me because it's supposed to be indestructible, but he
Well,
was
I
able to
guess
yank pieces off. But I guess bones, those are just Wolverine just have his bones covered in antimonium.
well, let me put it like if that's the only thing that bothers you about the movie and it has nothing to
No,
do
I
with
say it
all
bothered me
time,
a little. So I want to know what
okay.
you think. Like
Well, it
it
didn't
shouldn't
bother
have.
it
No,
didn't bother me at all
no, no,
because
not to bother you. Like it shouldn't have been broken so easily, right?
it depends on how they put him together. Because you got to
Ah,
remember
okay.
that they put antimonium all over his bones. But the problem is, it probably wasn't in the joints. Bones fall apart.
Oh, that's
If they put antimonium in his joints, he wouldn't be able to move.
oh, because not all the bones are connected. That makes sense.
Yeah, you got to think all your bones are not connected. They just coated the bones.
They only
So
coated the bones. Yeah,
of course, at the ends where all the cartilage was, probably didn't get coated.
yeah. It
And
didn't
of
get
course,
coated.
they
Just the
put the
bones.
claws in there. The claws are not part of his bones, not part of his skeleton. They're just a mechanism inside there that's attached to the muscles, which the muscles aren't there anymore. So
Yeah,
if there's no muscles, there's nothing to hold all the bones
to
together.
hold the bones together. So oh, okay, it makes sense for me now.
Yeah,
I
so
feel
he's gonna
better.
fall apart. Yeah, because I was gonna say my problem was the time travel deal. Plus, I didn't have a problem with that because I was trying to get the "Bye Bye Bye" song out of my head because I was like, "This is awesome," except for this music.
Did you like that? quick fight scene between Wolverine and Sabretooth, I thought it was another joke that they killed
Oh,
him
I
so quick.
loved it. Oh, I loved it.
There's even the
Especially when he
speech
tells him,
after,
what did he tell him? He goes, "You'll bash him, draft him," and then when he doesn't move no more, I forgot what he says to him
he
because
holds his
he'll be
head right,
done. Yeah, and then he
like Gladiator.
cut him right up. I was like, wow, that's so good because I didn't want to see a drawn out fight.
I didn't either. I was waiting for it, but like I'm pretty sure it's
But
only 30
it was good
seconds.
because he fights because the fights in the X-Men 1, he fights him in X-Men 1. It's just not much of a fight at all. He doesn't do hardly
This is
anything.
back then. We talked about that last week.
So they
Like
fixed it. To
no
me, they fixed
choreography.
it.
Yeah,
So they did fix it. Even though I would have liked to see it, I would like to see a real Wolverine
for
versus
Sabretooth fight. Yeah.
Sabretooth, but I'd like to see a good Sabretooth. And I'm not really knocking the actor as Sabretooth. It's just
However, Fox did that one.
he's
They still brought
the
it back. Yeah.
Sabretooth. Here's the thing, though. Wolverine's supposed to be a small character, and Sabretooth's supposed to be a regular 6 foot something.
Yeah.
Now, to me, if they ever do Sabretooth versus Wolverine, I need to see a Wolverine. I need to see a Sabretooth that's bigger. It's gonna have to be way bigger.
Oh, so you need to see
So
Ryan
it looks
Reynolds
right.
Sabretooth.
Yes, I need to see a Ryan Reynolds Sabretooth.
Because
I
this
need to see a real
Sabretooth is
Sabretooth.
just left over from Fox that they took back.
Because
This is
had
not
several,
Ryan Reynolds
because
Sabretooth.
they have had several actors play, at least 2 actors play Sabretooth. It's just they're good actors. Well, the first guy we saw get his head cut off, he's not really an actor; he's a wrestler,
Yeah.
and he did what he could do.
Yep.
But the other guy that played him is a good actor.
Sean Levy, yes, he's a good actor.
It's just he can't. His name's not Sean.
Shive, right? Is it
Yeah, it's
Shive? I'm
no,
sorry, I
it's
put it.
Levi.
Oh, Levi.
What
Is
was
it
his
Levi?
first name? Now I don't know his name.
Dang it!
His last name's Levi.
His last name is Levi.
Is
Shiver.
it?
Or
No,
something.
no, his first name's Levi. It's Levi something.
Uh,
How could we not know this guy?
is it
He's
Levi? I thought it was like. Is it pronounced Levi?
Man, he was in Scream.
He wasn't in Scream, but his roles was really small though.
Yeah, well, eventually got kind of bigger.
Yeah.
He did save.
Oh, his first name is Levi. Live.
Try.
Scheischuber? I don't know.
If I could see it, I'd tell you. But anyways,
I was thinking he would make an appearance in this movie too. Actually.
I thought he would too,
Yeah.
but he didn't. But I don't know. Maybe I mean they need to work on it. They could probably make him into a better Sabretooth. But he'd have to be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, he would have to be bigger. I would like to see a Ryan.
Because in all the
Ryan
pages,
Reynolds
yeah, because
version.
in the pages, Sabretooth's always huge.
Yeah, his name was always huge.
But he really isn't because Wolverine's so small.
That is true too.
Which a shorter Wolverine probably would have worked.
Yeah.
But the problem is we still did shorter Wolverine, but they did it for comic effect.
Oh, I know.
I mean, he falls off the bar still, dude.
No, like Ethan and Ryan
he
didn't
didn't.
understand that. It's so funny because well, in the comic books, Wolverine's really short. He's like 5'3", and then Heather said like, "Oh, that's how tall I am." I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right."
But the thing is, it's the problem is the way he's drawn. He looks fine because he's wider,
Yeah.
more muscular. You can't really make a human look like that, so it's not going to ever look right.
And I don't think we need to keep going back. Like not me and you, like people in general,
Yeah.
fans. Like stop worrying about heights of these superheroes. Okay, you
Yeah.
can't find a actors that's going to be super accurate against who they
Yeah.
want to play.
I think you could make it to
Except
a
for
point
Tom
which-
Holland. Tom Holland is short and Spider-Man is short.
You could do a lot to make the character look more comic. The thing is, they've improved it because they made them look like they do in the comic books.
Yeah,
I mean, they do all the poses and stuff. So as far as you're concerned, that's them.
that is very true.
And of course, height doesn't make a big difference. I mean, like I said, though, I'm sure though, if they found a shorter actor, they could have made it work.
They probably make it work, but then I like what we have
I
now.
don't know that Fox could have.
I want to tell you about this because people talk about like, now there's 2 actors that play Wolverine, right? If I could point this out on IMDb, he's not credited as the Wolverine. He's credited as
the
Cavalry.
Cavalry.
Yes.
Cavalry.
Yep.
And I didn't think he looked like Wolverine, anyways.
Well, if you think about it, I don't think Hugh Jackman looks like Wolverine anyway. It's just the hair.
Oh, I think Hugh Jackman does look like.
I mean, like, I've
I
been
think he
watching The
well,
Boys, right? Carl
the
Urban
old
looks like
shows.
Wolverine.
Carl Urban could have been a Wolverine.
Yep.
He does actually look like Wolverine now you said that. He does have the
He
face.
does. He also plays a really good a-hole. Definitely.
Yeah.
Like me and even Heather said, I was like, we're watching The Boys season 4 today, and she was like, yeah, I can see that too. He plays a really good a-hole. He does. But then the other issue is like, oh, he's too tall for the role. He's too
Oh
tall for
well.
the role. But then, hey, it works, right? It's just the acting. Stop worrying about height, size, whatever. If the actor can do it, they can do it. Oh. So I like this movie a lot. You did too. I did.
I like this movie, but I'd like to see it in a couple of years to see what I think.
Interesting.
I mean, it's good, but you've always, I mean, we went to the theater and saw it. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I
great.
mean, I can think of a lot of movies I went to theater and saw it, and they're so great. And then years later, I thought, I don't know, I like this movie.
Huh.
I think this one will stand. I think this would be a good one, though. I mean, automatically, it will always be better than Deadpool 1 and
The
2.
Deadpool 2.
And they weren't that bad. But like I said, they're just getting better. So the fourth one could be even better.
Can you imagine if this one didn't have Wolverine? I mean, still probably okay, but not as
Well,
good as it could
probably
be.
wouldn't have went to the theater to see it.
Hey, you know what? You know what? Let me check the
Because
box office right now.
I really wasn't even going to go see this one
No?
at the theater. No, I was actually, like I told you, I was going to come out there and see Aliens. I thought about seeing
Yeah.
Aliens with you. But after seeing the trailer, I was like, I really do like Wolverine. We're going to go see, I got to come up there and see this.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people. That's why it's doing so good. Did you know the budget for this movie was only 200 million?
But it was still pretty high for a rated R
It's still
superhero
pretty
movie.
high for a rated R superhero
But yeah,
movie.
that's pretty good. Yeah, then that's good
You
because
think it's going to
then
make $1 billion after this weekend?
I thought it already did $1 billion.
No, not yet. It's only 800 something. So you know what I did? I went to look at
Oh, okay. I thought this scored $1 billion.
I looked at the highest grossing rated R movies,
Yeah.
and the top one is Joker. But then you said that because it won
Oh,
Academy Awards and stuff.
yeah.
But then it's really funny. I'm gonna read you the top. I'm pulling up the list right now, and I'm gonna read you the top five. The first one is Joker. The second one is Oppenheimer, because that's
Oh,
rated R.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The third one is Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh.
The oh, it's 940 as of today. The fourth movie is Deadpool 2. The fifth
Oh,
movie is Deadpool.
one.
Yeah, Deadpool 1. And then the sixth one is Matrix Reloaded.
Oh, okay.
And then, but that really fall off those only 700 something million. But Deadpool and Wolverine is 940. And it's only this third weekend.
Yeah, I think it will.
I think it will too. I mean, like,
I mean, it is. But the nice thing though, it's the only MCU movie this year.
no. Guardians of the Galaxy was this year.
Oh, did it come out this year?
It's only Guardians of the Galaxy and this one for this year.
Oh, okay. I thought they said that they didn't come out this year.
Was it this year? Shoot, I can't remember. Hold on. Let me double
I thought
check.
this was the only MCU movie this year.
Is it Guardians of the Galaxy came out last year? Oh, it is last year. Guardians of the
Yeah.
Galaxy 3 was last year, and so is the
Maybe the
Marvels.
TVA needs to come talk to you.
Yeah, it must be. Oh, so the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was a good movie last year. The good MCU movie last year was Guardians of
Yeah.
the Galaxy 3. And then this year's the only one is the Deadpool and Wolverine. Because I'm pretty sure they have to shift some stuff with the arrests of well, not the arrest, the verdict of Jonathan Majors.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Well,
surprised that they didn't
plus they had the strikes too.
yeah, the strike. And I'm surprised that they didn't recast him. But they recast Rhodey, you know?
Maybe they don't want to recast it. Maybe they want to use him again. Maybe, they're just
Maybe it's the
waiting.
way that they keep secrets. Like the
Yeah,
way that Disney keeps secrets, we never know.
well, maybe the publicity they didn't need at the time. They probably need to let it cool it down, and they'll probably just give him a chance.
But they already announced Doomsday. They already announced Doctor Doom
They can always go back
and change it
and change it. But they'll probably get Doomsday, but eventually he'll probably show back up.
on Secret Wars, right? Yep, because the Secret Wars still staying.
Well, he could show up after these two movies.
Can he can?
Yeah, he could show up way in the future. Like I said, they probably just didn't need all this crap for Disney right now. Because, like I
That's
said,
true.
they're probably thinking, well, this guy, he's not really a bad guy, but we can't put him on the film because that's all they're going
Kang
to talk
could be a
about.
bad guy. I
Kang
think
is a bad guy.
no. Well, on one of the stuff, right? I think they released it because they changed the so the script got leak from
Oh, yeah.
Kang. One of the variants of Kang is the one who broke the dog hole.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's what they say, but then I don't know how true that is.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter later on because they may bring Mephisto back or bring Mephisto.
Oh, that
The
would be
thing is,
great.
right now, they've already focused on another villain.
Yeah, right
But
now
like I
they're
said, they
focused
can
on
always
that
come
villain.
back better character, they can always come back and touch on it because apparently the Kang thing just wasn't working anyways.
Yeah, I guess not.
Because Ant-Man didn't
It
do
was
very good.
working with Loki season one and no,
It
definitely Loki
was,
season one.
but then they put some movies out that people didn't go see. So
Quantumania, yeah.
yeah,
Hmm, that's interesting.
but
We'll see how it
Doom,
is.
but Doom people probably come see it. I mean, I'm going to see anything that's got Doctor Doom in it. I almost buy
Oh, I
anything that
know.
says it's got Doctor Doom in it.
Doctor Doom.
Man, I
Doctor
used to
Doctor
if
Doom.
I went to a comic book store and there was a comic and it had Doctor Doom in it, boom. That's how I got Moon Knight because it had Doctor Doom in it. Like, I gotta get this.
So, what do you think about dog poo?
Well, I thought it was a little dog.
uh, nice poo. All
I
these.
do like how it got. Yeah, I do love Nice Pool. I love Nice Pool. Nice Pool, him getting killed. That is almost my favorite scene, especially when he comes back. He wants those pistols, not over my dead body. And then, of course, he tells him, but when
Things
he
can
comes in, I like
happen.
it. He goes, "You're not the only person that can do the fourth wall."
The proposal. What the hell
Proposal.
was that?
And of course, I didn't like it when he grabs it, he pulls it in front of all the bullets, and he
Yeah.
shoots them all out. He goes, "You're going to live.
Well,
You
yeah.
want to live."
Well,
Then
your legs don't work.
he blows his head off. He goes, "Well, I can't," because it goes all paralyzed. Then he blows his head off.
I
Then of
love
course
that.
he's over there and he goes, "He died a hero. He died a murderer." I can't add the rest of it.
I love that. I love that. Like that's a hot dog stand. They're practically hospitals. They're not.
Turned on.
I love when Hugh Jackman said they're not. No, they don't.
Oh, that's something else. I love it when he kills him. Plus, he did credit himself as a different character, as a different
Gordon,
actor.
you know who that is, right? Gordon Reynolds. It's because Ryan Reynolds does the aviation gin. So when he did a
Oh, okay.
promo for it, he made a twin brother of himself, Gordon Reynolds, and
I
that's
didn't
where
know
that
that.
comes from.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that interview was actually pretty funny between them two. Yeah, nice book. Like, where's your mask? Come on.
Yeah, no. You could do. I could gently tap the
I do
fourth
like
one.
Matthew McConaughey doing the voice of Cowboy Pool. That was
Yeah.
awesome because I like
Oh, yeah.
Matthew
A lot of voice.
McConaughey.
Yeah, well, everybody likes Matthew McConaughey.
Everybody
Well,
loves Matthew
well,
McConaughey.
not everybody, but
A lot of people.
why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? What's wrong with Matthew McConaughey? Nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing is wrong with Matthew McConaughey. All right.
Well, yeah. I mean, he made a burrito and get gas every now and
And you know what's
then.
really funny? They also ripped on Batman in this one.
Oh
Well, they
yeah,
didn't really rip on
they
Batman. They
read
mentioned,
Batman.
yeah,
They mentioned Batman. Did they mention Superman too? So didn't they?
yes. I don't think they
Yeah.
mentioned Superman. I did like the first time when you see Henry Cavill, right? Cavill.
Yeah.
Um, I did like Ryan Reynolds' joke, like those shit faces down the street didn't treat us nice. He was referring to both of them. I thought that was so great. You were about to leave. Dude, Henry Cavill is his arms are bigger than Hugh Jackman's. How is that even possible? Hugh Jackman's arm is already huge, but then you see Henry because he's played Superman. Like just from the back on this side, I was like, dude, I don't want to get hit by this guy. I'm not even sure if you know how to punch, but I don't want to find out.
CGI.
It's not CGI. Even
It's
Sean Levy
CGI.
said that he showed up on
That's
set was
CGI.
already
That's
buffed.
CGI. Yeah, it's
You just
CGI.
want to say everything's CGI.
No, I don't. Nothing on Logan is CGI
Yeah, but then why is he CGI?
because I love Wolverine.
Oh, because you don't want to believe it. Okay, I
And
got you. I
yeah,
got you. I got you. I got you.
yeah, exactly. I don't want to believe it.
Okay, I got you. Wow, this movie is just excellent. I can't wait till we come on digital so I can see it again. I mean,
I can't, me either, because I'm tired of watching little bitty clips of it.
oh, me too. On YouTube, everybody's
Yeah,
showing like,
so I could make this, so I could make it to the show and know and remember everything. I'm like,
yeah,
huh. And that's where I saw that clip. Of course, there's a lot of people like I think we already talked about it, but people making clips. Oh, all these actors are in this movie. Oh, we're going to make a deal to show you all the people, and they're showing me like who's Lady Deathstrike. Oh, they're on there, and then
yeah,
Ray Park is showing up, and I'm like,
clickbait.
did you not watch the movie?
No, it's clickbait.
Because these little videos came out after the movie's out. I'm thinking, what a bunch of buttholes.
Yep, you're right though.
But none of them clickbait because some of them are real famous magazines. You can get on the internet and Google it. Is Ron is who's playing Lady Deathstrike and
Yeah,
stuff, and like Cosmopolitan and all those magazines are. Oh, this is so and so. I'm like, she's not in the movie, dude.
yep. To
Go
get
watch
you
the movie. You're
get
gonna
you
get fired.
to get views. So
Yeah.
besides the technical stuff, was there any scenes that you didn't like in this movie? Like not the
Nah,
time travel stuff.
no, there wasn't.
There wasn't.
There wasn't nothing in here. I was like, oh, I wish they wouldn't have done that, or they wouldn't have. No, not really.
Now this is a very enjoyable
Yeah, I
MCU
honestly,
movie.
honestly, there was nothing in here that made me go, "Oh, I wish they didn't put that in there or nothing."
Nope,
Because I'd be able to do that in all the other Deadpool movies. I'm like, yeah, that's a little too far. This one, I'm like, maybe
this
that
was
wasn't
great.
enough.
I feel like that wasn't enough. I wanted to see more. Yeah,
But again, they could have done overdone it, and then we'd be saying different stuff,
I
right?
wonder if they're gonna have like you know what? When this comes on Blu-ray, I might want to get
Let's
it
just
to
put
see
it
the
this way.
special features.
This the best thing about this is I left the theater pumped up. So
Oh, I we left the theater wanting we watch X-Men,
yeah,
and that's why we did last
and
week's
yeah,
episode
and then I
X-Men.
wish I didn't after that, but no, no, not really. No, I really did. I was happy to see it
Not
again.
only you, right? Even Heather told me after we came out of this movie, like she was like, "Oh, now I wanna rewatch like the
Yeah,
old
yeah,
stuff."
you want to see a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to go out and run and watch Daredevil or Blade, but
But
I did want to see
Deadpool
the
and
X-Men.
Wolverine, yeah, like X-Men related. That's very
Yeah,
true too.
yeah,
Uh,
because I actually would rather have saw all the Wolverine movies instead of
yeah,
the
I think I want to watch
X-Men.
all the Wolverine movies.
Yeah, I'd rather see the Wolverine movies, even Wolverine Origins.
Yeah,
Because
X-Men
I hated
Origins.
Wolverine Origins, but I watched it quite a few times.
You know, it's really funny.
There's something really wrong with you when you hate a movie, but you'll watch it over and over and
I think
over
it's
again
because we just
because
like
you only like certain
Wolverine.
parts of it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
because
just
you only
like
like
certain
certain
part. Yeah,
parts of it.
I
Yeah, I only
do. I
like
agree.
parts of it.
Yep.
Because they're actually Wolverine Origins wasn't that bad. It's like halfway through the movie, then that's when you need to turn it off or rewind it and watch it over again.
So let me go back to what I said. Like, there's still like an 11-year-old version of Lambert. Like, well, at least they made it. They could have not done anything, and then we wouldn't get anything, right? I'm always
Yeah.
in that thought. I could be 56, and then they're gonna do a movie on
Well,
the Mandarin or
we
something, and I'm
we can
like, I'm
say
still
that. We can
glad I
say
made
that
it.
to a point, but I remember little tiny Shane watching Punisher and thinking, "Oh God,
Yeah, I wasn't like
never
that.
watch
I
it.
was
I'll
still.
never watch it again."
We need to
I
rewatch it.
did. Oh, we do. I need to watch it for the third brutal, horrible time. Hey, they
I
did have
could
the
say
Russian. They did have the Russian in this.
the Russian. What do you mean?
The
Oh,
Russian, the guy with Russian
yeah, in
from
the Cassandra stuff, yes.
yeah, the Russian. He was what was he in? He
He
was
was wearing
in
stripes, black
yeah.
and
He
brown,
was in the
white and brown striped
Punisher.
shirt. Yeah,
He was in one of the Punisher movies,
yep.
the
I
better Punisher movie.
I did like it. Whoa, what is the better Punisher movie? Let's just talk about this right now.
Thomas Jane
Thomas
was the
Jane.
better
Okay.
Punisher, and I didn't see Warzone,
I
so I
did not
can't.
see Warzone. My sister told me about it.
I
She said
mean,
it was not that good.
John Barthol, or is his name Barthol,
Yeah,
whatever his name? That's the best Punisher.
so far.
He don't even have a movie.
And you know what's really funny?
See, that sucks. The best Ghost Rider and the best Punisher don't even have movies yet.
Movies, yep. Not yet. And
Not
you know what's
yet.
really crazy? When they announced him as the Punisher, I couldn't vision
Oh,
it.
well, you said that. Probably couldn't see it either because every time I think about him, I think about what was that movie? Uh, Fury.
Oh, I haven't seen Fury. I know he was
He
in it.
plays because he plays different characters in every movie he
Yeah.
makes. I always think about him in
It's just
Fury.
the
I was like,
acting, man.
there's
It's
no
the
way that guy's
direction.
so.
It's the story. It's how you act in the movie. It just
Did you watch it? It's like this is the Punisher.
so.
But it's still the same thing for Wilson Fisk, the actor that plays Wilson Fisk. I
Yep,
mean,
Wilson Fisk. Yep.
I wouldn't never saw that, but I'm like, I already know this guy could be a bad guy though,
Yeah.
and he's always a different character.
Yeah. See, it just
I mean,
depends on the range
you
you
almost
have.
never recognize him in any movie.
It's kind of like the first time you saw Tropic Thunder. You didn't even know that was Tom Cruise.
No, didn't know that.
Yep. It's just the
Matter of
acting.
fact, I think when you told me, I didn't even believe it. I was like, no.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. Like that's
You're full
Tom
of crap.
Cruise. You know,
You're full of
he put
crap,
on a
man.
fat suit. First time we saw Matthew McConaughey and a Tom Cruise in a straight comedy movie that's not a rom com.
Yeah.
First
thank God.
time, and we haven't seen one since then.
No. Not
Nope.
yet. Not that we recognize. Maybe there've been other movies. Maybe Tom Cruise is in a lot of movies. We just don't know it because he's not going to tell anybody. It's a
Yeah,
secret. He was
yeah,
in this movie. Probably didn't know it.
yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we have heard of every single Tom Cruise movie
Oh, I'm sure we
ever
have.
made since the 70s, starting
I'm,
with
sh-
The Outsiders.
I'm sure we have.
All right. We ran a little bit over time on this one. It's
Well,
almost like an hour
it
and
was
30,
worth
but
it.
it's
Yeah,
our
I mean,
200
this was
show.
almost longer than the movie.
Not quite. But then sometimes it would make sense for people to talk about the movie to be longer because there's so much things to discuss.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot.
Well, you know what? We're gonna take it to goodbye for now, and we'll see everybody on the next one. Thank you for tuning in for this episode of Tensai Reviews. If you like what you heard, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you on the next one.